Hi everyone, this is Siraj from SoL Global Forum. Thank you so much for joining us. We have about 47 people right now. We're expecting close to about 100 people. We'll wait for another minute or two to start the program. In the meanwhile, just to confirm that we are recording this video for sharing and displaying with our friends later on. I hope that a segment of this will also be played at the SoL Global Forum. Thank you so much for coming. And with me are your hosts for today. Going from right to left, ladies first. Irene is there from SoL Global Forum and SoL France. Heidi, our friend from the SoL Global Forum and also SoL North America. Agnes from SoL France, SoL Global Forum. Michael Sales, co-chair of SoL North America. And me, Sirajuddin, and Antonio Linares from SoL Global Forum and I imagine SoL Italy. We are going to wait for, I'd say, another minute before I hand this over to Heidi, who will take you all the way through. And then other participants will jump in as and when required. Please feel free to ask your questions. There is a special segment for questions, as you can see. And thank you so much for all your comments and questions so far. Carol Gorlick says, kudos to all of you for making this happen. For me, it's a defining moment in SoL's history. Thank you so much. Alexandra Di Faria, is that Rico? Hi, nice to see you. And Hendrik Becerra, hello everyone. So please keep your comments coming. We will take a pause every 15 or 20 minutes and answer your questions. Once again, this is Siraj turning it over to Heidi for welcome. Heidi, give me 1 minute to unmute you, and you're on, and I'm going on mute now. Heidi, you're still on mute. Can you say something, please?
There we go. How's
Yeah,
that?
that's good.
I'm on mute. Oh, you can hear me now. Great. Uh, Hello, everyone, wherever you are. We are so thrilled to have you join us. Siraj just introduced everyone, and you can see our names here. We represent a large, rambling group of people from all over the world who are coming together to put on and to participate in the Global Forum for SoL. This will be our fifth global forum, and we are, we started. We've been in Finland, we've been in Vienna, we've been in Oman, we had one last year in Sweden. And we are just thrilled to be having this one in Paris and to be offering to you our um, um, thoughts, our observations, our reflections on what this event will be about and why we'd love to have you join us. Um, I wanted to say that we are basically how this event got formed is that when we started to look at what the current conditions are in the world that people who are involved in organizational learning, systems thinking, and SoL worldwide, what is it that we could offer the world that would be worth coming to and worth contributing to? And what we realized is that we are all in transformation. We are in transformation at every level of our being right now. We're in a metamorphosis, and in process, it's almost like it's happening anyway. The question is, are we going to join it? So we're in transformation at individual levels. We're in transformation team and organizational levels. We're in transformation at national and global levels. So what we wanted to do was to bring together people in the process, all the change agents at all these different levels, in the process, while we're in the process, not with finished products, but a time to come together and to convene and to find out how it's going for each of us and what are we learning about what it takes. We had a wonderful kickoff to the design with Peter last March, and we asked him the question, what is the cutting edge of transformation in the world right now? And he said that for a number of years now, it has been a while since he even saw single organizations as that edge. What he sees, or what he sees in many people like Peter, pioneers who are out there in the world, what they see is that what is called for now is a network of networks, of change agents, people that are out there doing the work. So we dedicated this event to that metamorphosis, that transformation of what it is that we're going through at all levels, and how do we create conditions in which we can network, share, inspire, generate new ideas, new partnerships, and that's what this is dedicated to. So one of the things that is different about this global forum is that up till now we've had this to gather people from SoL. But SoL itself is going through a metamorphosis. We now have 15 solid communities out in the world, in various parts of the world, and we have 20 on the horizon who are wanting to join, and we have many, many other people doing the work, whether they're associated with SoL or not. So what we're doing is the global group of communities is, especially thanks to SoL France, is offering this convening for people to come from all over the world doing all the work. And so we'll have new players, new games. The point is to see what's out there and what's happening. So that's what this event is about. It says, why come to Paris? Well, there's lots of reasons to come to Paris. But it's probably May in Paris is probably one of the most beautiful places in the world. But to be able to come and to be walking the Seine and to be sharing the kinds of things we know are happening in the world together, I can't think of anything greater. And we have people coming from all over the world. We have a contingent coming from China. We have people coming from India, from the Philippines, from South America, from all parts of Europe and from North America, just from everywhere. So we hope that you'll join us. So I'd like to turn this over to Irene to talk a little bit about what the form of this will be. And yes, can you change the next slide?
Okay. So, do you hear me? Is it okay? Thanks. So the forum is dedicated to investing in emerging futures, new players, new games, welcoming metamorphosis. And ID has presented quite well the objectives of the forum and this process of transformation. The forum will be like a learning journey. And during the 3 days, we shall live together a learning journey. The first day will be dedicated to observe what is happening in the world. And the second day to deepen transformation inside company, to better understand. And in the afternoon to deepen 7 domains described by Peter Sanger. These domains will be described, I think, by Michael during this presentation. And the third day is dedicated to act what we would like to do together and to launch shared projects, and SoL as a platform, as a network of networks, to be able to launch shared projects of collaboration in the future involving countries from all over the world. And to preparing this forum, we had 2 drivers. The first one is to share and learn. Share together and learn together. And the second is to start and boost. So Antonio, could you present the first driver?
Hello, this is Antonio Linares from SoL Spain. So as Irene said, we have a driver we name sharing and learning together. And within this sharing and learning driver, we include 3 main the first one is learning stories. Second one is about workshops. And the third one is about inspirations. So within the first stream, we have already 60 learning stories from around the world involving companies, associations, social business, hospitals. We will share some of these journeys in plenary session on the second and third day in the morning, and then we will deepen on collaborative table with those who present to us the journey. So Irene, I pass on to you the workshops.
Unmuted. Yes, the workshops will be. So far, we know that some workshops will focus, for instance, on East-West relationship, the complementarity of cultures, and the impact on management. For instance, in this workshop, Peter will facilitate with the Chinese professors, and a second workshop could be dedicated to decision makings and the role of relevant stakeholders inside the living companies. And we will have some workshop linked to the state of the art in management, including Lean and Learn, the global leadership, and so on. But what is important is the most important perhaps in the second day afternoon. The workshop are dedicated to the domains we want to deepen. These domains you see on the screen. Economic models, new leadership, new governance, inner transformation, new education, for a sustainable world, including the living and learning communities. So this is about the workshop. And the third stream is about inspiration for both pioneers like Peter, Harry de Geus, the well-known sociologist Alain de Vulpian, Lord Owen, who was a former Secretary of Commonwealth in UK, Adam Khan, Marie-Ève Marchand, but also business decision maker like Jean-Paul Bailly, the former chairman of La Poste. La Poste, that means 200,000 employees. So these inspiring people are also very important in the loop to help us to design together a better vision of the future. Antonio, could you continue on the second driver to start and boost the projects?
I repeat, we were saying we have two major people drivers. So we've been talking about sharing and learning, and now we are talking about starting and boosting. Okay, starting means projects, starting new projects, boosting new projects. So within this driver, we have several collaborative spaces, and we are allocated time during the forum for these collaborative spaces where people can join. The second stream for this is pro-action cafes, where we want to start some projects or just to deepen some projects that have been already initiated. For instance, there is a critical initiative coming from SoL North America about the project incubator. So they are pushing several projects right now in different domains, such as school communities, systems of water recovery and management, local level climate change action, etc. So this is for the pro-action cafes. Irene?
Together on the third day, we shall launch the platform. Peter feels quite involved in this platform to sustain and develop future collaboration all over the world. And you, the attendees of this webinar, you are part of this platform. This is very important if we want together create shared projects. And so, Siraj, this is the presentation for the forum.
One of the things I'd like to add that wasn't mentioned yet was that we will be starting the forum with a conversation, a dialogue between many of the new, the young people, the young change agents, and our pioneers. So I'm really looking forward to, and I know, Irene, you talked to Peter the other day about this, that one of the things we'll be having is that the youngest of us, the new generation of change agents will be reflecting on what they see the metamorphosis is, and challenging some of us elders about how it is that we see it, and what do we need to be prepared. So that's one of the things I'm really looking forward to. Michael, did you have anything to add to the description of the event? And then I think it would be good to stop and have people ask questions.
I wanted to. We could ask questions. I did have a couple of things I wanted to say, but maybe there are some questions that we should address.
This is Siraj. We don't have any questions as of now, so please continue.
Okay, great. I'll continue. Well, let's see. I was Michael Sales, the co-chair of Society for Organizational Learning of North America, and I was asked the question. What the question that brought me to this conversation is, why are you coming to the forum? And I think that Ren and Antonio and Heidi have done a wonderful job of talking about the aspirations of the forum and the structure of the forum. And I'll probably say something else about that, but I just wanted to say that I'm in a field that I call anticipatory leadership. And I'm fascinated by who are the kinds of people, and what are the kinds of the organizations, and what are the kinds of societies that are dedicated to paying attention to what the future might bring and what that means for their own action in the present. Somebody once wrote a very nice book called does the caterpillar know it's going to become a butterfly? And that's a very fascinating question to me. And if there's any set of if there's a set of what's the word components of that caterpillar that are going to comprehend what kind of a butterfly they might become, it's going to be the types of people, the vigorous, the intellectual, the serious, the fun-loving, the engaged type of people who are coming to this conference. And so that's part of a real driver for my excitement to come to this, is to join with the new players who are making a difference in all kinds of domains where they're active, who are considering what the future is and what that means for their action in the present, and to show each other the new games that they're designing. Because as a futurist, one of the things that people like me are always involved with is scenarios and developing what if questions. And so when we use the word new games, we're looking at what are the methodologies that show us the new possibilities in education and governance and leadership and inner transformation and sustainable growth and business models and smart communities. What are the ways to dig into a comprehension of what is coming in each one of these fields and probably many others. So I'm coming to this program because I think it's going to be an agitated state. This is unstable uranium at a intrapsychic, intra-organizational, inter-organizational, and intrasocial level. And so let's use that instability and together take another step to being the butterfly that this planet, by God, ought to be.
Awesome. Thank you, Michael. I do have a few questions. I'll read out the question, and if one of you wants to answer them, please raise your hand and I will unmute you. The first question comes from Ed Antoine. Hello, I'm Ed Antoine. I'm a French-American ICF certified coach based in New York and organizing coaching tracks in Nepal to engage people in their own transformation. How can this SoL conference help me boost my project to bring people to Nepal so they deepen their own metamorphosis? Who would like to take that? All right, Heidi, give me just 1 second. You are on your, can you say now?
Yes, so just so that can you hear me now? Yes, just so I understand the question, so that the people in Nepal or the people who come can boost their own metamorphosis through that project, just so I understand what
people who come to Nepal with Ed in his learning journey.
Yes, great. So one of the things I would say, just to build on something that Michael was talking about the agitation, what we also call that in the language of metamorphosis and biology is the nutrient soup. There's a state in which the caterpillar, there's no cells in that caterpillar that allow a butterfly to exist until it in a sense consumes itself. And there's a nutrient soup that happens that allows then the butterfly to emerge. So to answer that question, I would say, and is it Mr. Antoine or is it Antoine? I did miss the name.
Ed Antoine.
Anyway, okay, yes. So basically, what we see these 3 days together as, and the time we spend together, is immersing ourselves in that nutrient soup. So in a sense, what that allows people to do there is, and not in a sense, it's what we're actively intending, that during those 3 days, that we conduct ourselves in a way, that we self-organize in a way that allows us to see the possibilities with new eyes from the nutrient soup. So by being immersed in that, our intent is that when we leave, with a whole different level of sensitivity to what is possible. And so in going on the learning journey, so if people come to this, in a sense what it is it's cultivating the field for that kind of transformation to happen in anything that you embark on after you leave. So it isn't just coming and listening to speakers. We're immersing ourselves in the process itself, as Michael said, the agitation that allows us then to begin to form new ideation cells. So people who come here would be in a ready state to actually enter into a learning journey to go to Nepal. I'd love to go with you. You should let me know when you're leaving. To enter into that state, especially as a body. Not the individuals, we will be carrying that nutrient soup, that agitation with us, but especially if there are several of you that have been through this process together, what you can then do is embark on this having already been loosened up, agitated, nutrient souped, so that anything that happens after this you're more open to.
Yeah,
I hope
thanks,
that helps.
Heidi. Michael says wants to add on, and I have an agitation of questions happening here, just so that you're aware. Okay, Michael says, please take it.
Fantastic. Yeah, so you were speaking about your coaching activities, and one way to think about a possibility for you out of this engagement is that you will, through an immersion in various methodologies and through the meetings with different people, there may be a way in which you're going to see possibilities and help clients, systems, and individual clients see the nutrient soup that they're living in, and be able to go through their own chrysalis, which is part of what the coaching work is to move from one kind of stuck caterpillar state, if you will, into whatever your own butterfly is. So as a coach, I think that you will have the opportunity to both absorb and interact with lots of other people who are engaged in the profession of supporting evolution and positive change in others.
Yeah, and I'd like to add just very practical for you that we do have a whole community in the SoL global group that's about global coaching. And in fact, I was just looking at the submission of a workshop by Vicky Schubert, who's part of a whole coaching group that came out of the SoL coaches, and is now has been offering programs worldwide. She'll be talking about something called the butterfly model, which shows how coaches can engage at various levels of the system. The idea here is that there is a deep relationship between transformation and the ability of a system to see itself, to have all the parts of the system see itself. So she'll be actually conducting a workshop there in that whole way of approaching coaching. So we will have very specific coaching offers and also, as we said, a larger nutrient soup for you to swim in. Okay, more questions?
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. So the next is more a comment from Danielle. It says that I think that it's crucial to review how we, the small people, can start transformations in our organizations, challenging mental models that are deeply rooted in the past, especially when those mental models have made them successful and the foundation for them to be global leaders. I wondered if any of you wants to comment on this, and I can unmute you. Okay, Heidi, go for it.
Yeah, that's really great. It's absolutely true. And one thing that we learned as that we wanted to include as we were putting this together is how important the connection between all of us is. How making that you can be doing this on your own, but it's very much like a hologram. If there's only, if you have a tiny piece of a hologram, you don't just have part of the picture, you have the whole picture very weak. And the more that you put the hologram together, the stronger and stronger the picture becomes. So one thing that we want to do is, we're all out in the world doing our work, is to come back together and to make that picture really, really strong by sharing stories, by being in dialogue with each other. And I believe that that's why Peter was so certain that this needed to be about a network of networks. We cannot do this alone. And by being together and reinforcing that experience, that of exactly what you just said, that we can then go out into the world with that picture deep within us, much, much larger, much stronger, so that we can then do the work with that kind of support. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for all your participation. Irene, would you like to say something?
So yes, I would like for our organization to take to keep in mind that the organization are living system, and it's why we use the word of metamorphosis and the biological word. And in a living system, all the cells are connected together, and if a cell is separate from the others, this cell died. And we have to keep that in mind, and this is an issue of survival for a living system, and we have to consider the companies, organization as living system.
Thank you. Thank you, Irene. Michael says, I will unmute you in a second. Go for it.
Yeah, and the thing very well said, Irene, and a thing I would add to in response to the comment is that through your immersion in this type of a soup, you're going to be able to come out and show others that you're working with in small systems who are wedded to the past that that we are in an evolutionary moment, or we're always in an evolutionary moment. But what are we evolving toward, and what is it from the past that is likely to be able to continue to thrive and survive, and what is it in the past that is no longer going to be functional and relevant as the future unfolds, and getting people to think about that in a co-inquiry mode is a powerful activity for a change agent in small systems.
Awesome. Thank you. Antonio, did I see your hand going up? Yeah, go for it, Antonio.
Sorry, did I listen to you?
Did you want to add something to that question?
No.
All right. Okay, let me
take much.
All right. Let me take the next question, which is a common question. Bob Hawkins asks, for those of us unable to attend, what opportunities will be there to engage during or after the event? And then Virginia Swain asks, can I participate online? I'm not able to attend in person. Who would like to take that?
So,
go for it, Antonio, if you want to take that.
You mean engaging, if I understood well, is what are the possibilities for engaging during and after?
Yeah, and also if there is opportunities to participate and view the presentations online.
For the second question, I'm not sure. Eventually, Irene and Heidi could give an answer. My understanding is not, but for the first one, engaging, if I understand by engaging is meeting people and building relationship for the future. I can say for sure. The first time I attended to a global forum was in 2005 in Vienna, and I met some of the current community members of Spain, but also some of the members from France. So I think what is hard is, let's say, staying in line with building the relationship after the forum. But the opportunities are great to build good relationships.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to take that? Irene or Agnes, Heidi, okay. 1 minute and you'll be unmuted.
Yes, I can speak to that. And Agnes and Irene, I'd like you to correct what I'm about to say. There may be some news on this. We are right now exploring how to make access to the plenary sessions available. So there are, I don't know if it'll be two-way, but we're looking at possibly having a channel where you can be part of the see the plenary sessions, the conversations between the youth and the elders, for example. And we're exploring how to do that in a cost-effective way that large. So that's one thing. The other thing is that we're looking at recording these sessions as well. Now remember, there are various different collaborative spaces. So there are ones that would be appropriate for either recording or for having real-time streaming. And we need to decide which ones of those there are. And that isn't set yet, but we will have more about that soon. So if your name, Suraj, is it accurate that if they've submitted their their contact information to this webinar, we'll be able to send that out to them.
That's right. That's
Right.
absolutely
So
right.
you will
Yes.
be alerted about. I know we at least
Yeah.
want to record the plenary sessions and have those available after the session. Right now, what we're researching right now is how we can have streaming happen so that you can be there as it's happening.
Yeah.
So we will let you know as we find out more about that.
Yeah. I'd also like people to monitor the Twitter hashtag, Facebook posts, and LinkedIn, where there'll be a lot of comments, tweets. But a lot of people have iPhones and other webcams that they can just take mini videos and post online. So there's just going to be a ton of information that's being shared.
Yeah, we'll let you know. And yes, and Irene, did you have anything new on that? I know that you've been meeting in the last week.
Unmuted. Agnès. Yes,
Could
it's
be
not.
that there's nothing new to what I just said.
Agnès, we don't hear you. We don't hear.
And yes, can you speak up?
Okay. So we have nothing really new, as Heidi said, but we're thinking about it. And for there is a problem of time schedule as well if we do it online, because when it's 8 o'clock in Paris, I don't know what time it will be in the United States. So we are working on it, and we will let you know. There's nothing new right now. Okay.
I'm going to take the next question now. This is from Dominique. She wants to know who are the facilitators, the 30 facilitators that we mentioned. Can someone take this, please? All right, Heidi, I will unmute you in 2 seconds. Go for it.
So who are they?
Yeah.
We have a wide variety of facilitators, both from France and from international communities. I mean, I could go into names that would take the whole time, but one of the groups that we are having facilitate is the 2 days before the forum, we're going to have the General Assembly. We have a General Assembly at least once a year of all the communities who come from around the world to vote on official business for Global SoL, and also to just get to know each other and to share learnings and what we're doing. So that community will be part of the general facilitation team for learning stories and groups like that. We've also had people volunteer for different types. We have at least 6 different types of facilitation going on. It's a whole event in itself, just coordinating the various talents in the body of people that are coming with what's needed. For example, we have people who are Hala Sundaram coming from India, who is an expert a deep expert in meditation, and will be coming to do meditation practices. We have Kaz coming from I hope he's on today, but he's an Aikido third Dan who's going to be doing some Aikido in the morning. We have movement specialist Pierre Guarin, who's an incredible movement facilitator, somatic transformation. And so we have, and then we also have the people that will be moderating the conversations between elders and youth, and between organizational leaders and each other, large and small organizations. So what we're doing is basically forming a body of people that will be participants as well as moderators and facilitators who we will be assigning as per the thing they're best at. It's one of the most exciting things about this forum is that it's about the people that are there, and that we're tapping into what they have as a network of talents and possibilities.
Okay.
So yeah.
Michael says I'm going to
Michael
unmute you in 2 seconds. Michael, take it.
Yeah, one of the reasons that I found myself willing to write the check to come to this program was the clear integration of heart, body, mind, spirit thinking and approach that is being offered at the program and is going to be facilitated. So Heidi was referencing some specific kinds of people, and terrific. But it's in the context of understanding what the metamorphosis requires in an integration of those four different what's the word, principles, drivers of self.
Awesome. Thank you. Antonio, I'll be unmuting you in 2 seconds. Yeah, go for it.
Just before leaving, I'm one of the facilitators. Speak Spanish, speak French.
Good.
You're listening right now, and I've been preparing the part of the agenda with Irene and some others. So
Awesome.
this is one of the facilitators here.
Yep. Thank you very much, Antonio, and thank you so much for participating. I'm going to move on to the next question. It's a great question by Alexandra Rico. 3 days go by very fast. Many participants, it's almost impossible to contact who are on the same wavelength and projects. How can you let participants have an idea before coming so that they might connect? I think he wants to connect with people who have similar ideas. Any thoughts on that? Anyone who would like to take it? Okay, Irene, give me 2 seconds, please. You're on mute now.
Heidi first. Okay, so this is me. Alexandra, during these 3 days, nobody is alone because the forum is based on camps, on basis camp. At the beginning of the forum, we will organize a base camp with 8 people, about 8 people, and during the 3 days, they will exchange together to get the key findings, their learnings. And then these base camp are part of the learning journey. And and then before the forum, linked to the domains that you saw on the maps a few minutes ago, there are already conference call. For instance, if we take the domain of education, people are working together. People who are participants, who are not speakers, but they are participants, and they decided to organize together a conference call on education to better know what could propose the Dutch. There is a Dutch project, there is a Chinese project, and they exchange together on the website by conference call. So the forum is prepared. You don't arrive in the forum as you arrive in to look at a movie, at a picture. You are involved from registration to the end of the forum, and after, we hope, we are involved in the process. So this is part, Alexandra, of the learning journey. Do I answer your question?
Yeah, I definitely feel so, Irene. That's a great call to action. Thank you so much. Agnes, would you like to say something? Can I unmute you? Okay. Heidi, you're next. Unmute in 2 seconds.
No, I was saying Agnes probably has a way to participate. I was going to answer if she did.
Yeah. Agnes,
No, it's just that I wanted to add that people who are is it okay? Okay.
Yeah.
People who have registered, there is a LinkedIn group for people who have been registered, and then they get in touch together and they start knowing each other. But we're not, I don't know what's going on in this LinkedIn group, but I know it's active already. So that's a way of preparing the forum and meeting before.
Thank you. I love Irene's response, which is we need to take responsibility for our engagement and participation. And I want to acknowledge that this conference video call is actually happening because of my conversations with Irene. We wanted to create a call to action, but in a very live format. So thank you so much. Heidi, shall I unmute you now? Give me 2 seconds, please. Yeah, go for it.
Actually, I just want to echo what you said, Siraj. This conference, more than anyone I've been part of, has emerged out of the people in it. So some of the examples for, like, what Alexandra asked for, as we listen to the questions, we look at how we can expand the network of ways of connecting. So there's LinkedIn, as Enya said, and there's also Facebook. There's a Facebook that you could write comments on. We also expect that, not only expect, we intend that out of the connections that are made, that provides a network for further activity and connection following. Thanks to the way the internet has supported all of us in making these connections. I mean, this is a miracle, actually, when you think about it. 10 years ago, this was impossible.
Yeah.
That the kinds of networks we're making now those are the wings that we're going to use to connect with each other, stay in touch. And we intend that the next global forum in 2 years, which will probably not be in the West, we've had an offer to have it in China, an offer to have it in India, that during that time we will have begun to build the infrastructures and the connections, the personal and the technology connections that allow us to continue the work together. So we're emerging right now. Every question you ask, we think about how we can make that work better. And that's exactly Siraj. I can't, I know we have a few more minutes. I just want to say that Siraj stepped forward and, he's able to do this. He's a master at bringing together people and into conferences and to provide this kind of connection before and after. So he stepped up and said, let me support this. And that's exactly what we're looking at from everyone. This is by people who are in the world doing this, all of us ordinary people that Alain de Vulpian talk about, who are committed to transformation, who are not waiting for an organization to exist that's going to do it for us, who are stepping up and saying, here, I've got an idea, let's do this. And that's exactly right, Suraj. Thank you for bringing that up.
Thank you.
Thank you for providing this opportunity for us.
Yes, thank you. And you're absolutely right. We will not be able to get through all the questions. I've got at least a dozen on my queue right now. We'll probably take two more, and then I do want to talk about the offer that we have on table for everyone. There's a great question here that I don't want to miss. It's by Liam Reen, who works with our great friend Victor Garcia. He asks about how do we document these new methodologies, games, in such a way as to investigate synergies between them. Basically, how do we channel the small waves into transformational tsunami? Who would like to take that, please? Michael Sales, would you like to? Okay. Unmute in 2 seconds.
Would I like to take such an excellent question? Probably not. I mean, it's a really good question. Well, the documentation of our learning is part of our design activities that we're engaged in now. That said, so in other words, the conference itself is going to take some responsibility for it. We will have, we'll be recording things. We're working on the transmission of plenary sessions while they're occurring. They're going to be, there'll be information about what's transpired available on the Global SoL website and LinkedIn pages, etc. So all that's going to happen. But there's another dimension of the recording which relates to what Heidi was saying about Siraj's work in creating this event, which is that we all are going to be responsible for recording what we think is important to record and looking for ways to get it shared. And that's part of the, the afterglow of the event. How to put this? When you've had a really wonderful romantic experience of some sort, you want to find ways to make it live on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, so I have the confidence that the vitality of the people who are coming together will yield a lot of documentation that is beyond I won't say pedestrian, but beyond the traditional frameworks that we're already been working on. Suraj made a reference a moment ago to videotaping through your cell phone and taking pictures and making commentary on your cell phone. Well, hopefully all that's going to happen, and that we'll get recordings of the methodologies. I mean, I think there'll be standard things where slides will be available, and there'll be that kind of pool of information to people who've participated, and probably in some way to people who maintain an interest. But I think there are a variety of non-traditional methods of documentation which are going to be emergent at the event itself. I hope that's responsive to your question.
Thank you. Heidi, I'm unmuting you now.
Yeah, yes, I just also want to add that one of the parts of the mission of SoL is to disseminate. We believe in creating, implementing, and disseminating, because that's how we make that full cycle. So it will both be in the practices. It's in what Michael was talking about. We're also going to we're talking now about having a reflections article that not a whole issue perhaps, where lots of different points of view get joined, and we have a graphic recorder which we'll have photographs of, and we will be coming up with ways to also track what people do following. As we begin to merge some of these different methods that have come out of this work, that there will be ways to follow the work and actually to come back and see what happened from it. And I know that anyone involved with Victor Garcia is particularly interested in this, and that's why I'm coming to see you in Seattle. I'm going to come to see all of you and bring emergent learning to you.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of merging that we want to have happen in this nutrient soup. So thank you for that question.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I don't think we have time for any more questions. I would love for one of you to talk about the offer that we have, and also sort of renew the call to action. So, Agnes, could you go to the slide that talks about our offer and also the discount code that we have for our friends? So, who would like to take this first? Irene, would you like to take it? Okay, unmuting you in 2 seconds.
Actually, I think Agnes was going to talk about it.
Agnes will do.
Agnes was going to talk about it.
Okay, Agnes, I'm unmuting you in 2 seconds.
Okay, here I go. So I think you can see on the screen the prices for the attending the forum, and whether you're a member or not members, a company or an independent, or NGOs. And on these prices, we have a special offer which is not on the screen for the people who will register in the 3 or 4 days after the webinar, and you will get a 10% discount if you register within 4 days, or I think we'll leave you till the weekend just to make up your mind. And then if you register as a group of 5 participants, you can get a 15% discount, which will be added to the 10% discount of the webinar. So this is the two discounts you can add together. And then the other ones are for people from France. But from you can have the discount for 5 participants, which is 15%. And this one is till maybe the end of April. But to get the webinar discount, which is 10%, you have to register online before, I think, Saturday or Sunday, next Sunday.
Awesome.
Is that it, Suraj?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you so much. Irene or Heidi, would you like to say something?
Just yes, I would just like to say. Yes, I would just like to say. Whoops. Yes. Do you want the chart before, Irene? Yes. Do you want the chart before? Yes. And yes, could you move the slide one forward?
So is it possible to have a look on the slide to see the International House of the Cité Universitaire, because it's a nice place. And we would like to welcome you in this. There is a wonderful park. So this is both a nice building and linkage with the nature. And we hope that the weather will be fine. So, some French companies are involved in the process, and they help us as sponsors for the forum, and we have to thank them. And we hope, if we were able to find some international companies, it will help us to offer some internship participation. But we have to thank all those who are involved in the forum process in this call. Heidi, would you like to add something?
Yes, I would just like to say that this is a funny thing to say, and I'm hearing an echo, but I'll go ahead. I'd just like to say that we will consider you with us whether you're present in Paris or not. That when we say a network of network, we mean all those who are doing this work. We are drawing from all those who are doing this work in this event. And I must say that I have a preference for once in a while having a multi-sensory experience of you. So I really want to invite you to get yourselves to Paris. You will not regret it. I know it takes great effort, just like it takes the caterpillar great effort to make the cocoon and to dissolve themselves so that they become the butterfly. But we definitely have hopes that you will come, and that if you want to know how to find places, there's a place on the website to find a reasonable priced lodging. A lot of us have gone to Airbnb and are getting apartments together. So I know several cocoons of people who are getting Airbnb apartments, and that's more than possible in Paris. There are many, many options in Paris. So do please consider what it would take for you to be with us, because it's going to be a great party and a great emergence. And whether or not you're with us at the event, you are part of our network, and we are very much looking forward to an ongoing relationship with you. And you'll be hearing from us. And that's it.
Thank you. Michael Sales, as chair of SoL North America, would you like to say a few words? People have also asked about how to become members of SoL.
Thank you, Suraj. Well, you can join as Connections members on the SoL North America website. It's just www.solonline.org, and there are ways to become Connections members, which means that you will hear about all of the SoL events. You get discounts to all of the SoL educational activities. You receive a copy of, I think, really our first-rate magazine, Reflections, and membership. The membership structure of SoL North America is going through its own metamorphosis. We have had in the past consulting, organizational, and research memberships. We're working on what our offer is going to be on that. Stay tuned. And as Heidi said, now that we know about you, you're in our network. But seriously, you're not going to be bombarding you with untasteful emails. But we're so glad that you joined us in this call, and consider SoL worthy of the engagement of your attention, and I think it'll prove to be so.
All right, everyone, that's all we have time for. Thank you so much for participating. I want to thank my guests and panelists today: Antonio, who left us early, Michael Sales, Agnes, Heidi, Irene, and also to Jacques, who participated in creating this, Frank and Mark Alpert from SoL North America, who did a lot of work in creating the material to share it with you. We'll follow up with an email on the slide and also the discount code for your registration. Thank you, and see you again very soon. Goodbye.